Ninth standard, join fast. Very few students have joined. I have sent you the message yesterday only. Please join faster. Good afternoon, everyone. Just 5 minutes left for the class. Join faster.
Good
Waiting
afternoon,
for the
ma'am.
participants. Good afternoon, Aziz. Good afternoon, Biche. After 5 minutes, we'll begin the class with the prayer. So I want everyone to sit in a prayerful posture. Just 4 minutes left for the class. Join faster, 9th standard, so that we can begin the class on time. Only in 9th standard the students are not punctual. Two minutes left for the class. Very few have joined. They have to give me the answer. What happened to them today? Why they are not in the class? If all will attend the class, then only the proper revision can be done, proper new topics can be done. You people are not sure. Few are there which are every day in the class, present in the class, attentive in the class. Join faster. Just 1 minute left. All sit in a prayerful posture. We'll begin the day with the prayer. Dear God, keep us safe from all harm and danger. Protect us from all the problems which are arising in our surroundings. Help us to understand what is taught today and make it easy for us so that what is taught we are able to understand and learn it in a very easy way. Dear God, keep your loving hand on each one of us. Now we'll say the universal prayer. Our Father in heaven, holy be your name. Your kingdom comes, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us today our daily bread. Forgive us our sins as we forgive those who sin against us. Do not bring us to the test, but deliver us from evil. Amen. Now I will share my screen with you. As you are, so many students were saying that they were not able to understand the cycles which we have done. So on my screen, I have shared carbon cycle. So first in the carbon cycle, you have to understand one of the main and very important thing which you have to understand. In this, first you have to find out and understand that the carbon plants as well as animals. And Viksha Sharma, unmute yourself. The carbon dioxide in the atmosphere is used by plants as well as animals. And Viksha, say yes, ma'am, beta. You have
Yes,
unmuted
ma'am.
yourself. Faster. Speak loudly, bachche. Speak loudly. I'm able to hear you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I will repeat after. I will share the diagram also. But now what I said is carbon dioxide is in the atmosphere, and from the atmosphere, the carbon dioxide is used by plants as well as animals. Are you able to hear what I am saying, and Viksha?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, speak loudly, Bachi. Voice is not coming to me. Very slow it is. So when we are talking about plants, that means you have heard about the word coal. That means when the carbon dioxide is taken by the plants, then plants can change. You have heard about fossil fuels. That means plants are able to make coal also. When they go deep inside the earth, then the coal is formed. Okay. And Viksha, read the first sentence. The major steps involved in the process of carbon cycle.
Carbon present in the atmosphere is absorbed
Read
by
and
plants.
Viksha.
Carbon present in the atmosphere by carbon present in the atmosphere is absorbed by plants for photosynthesis.
Yes, good. Then second point.
These plants are then consumed by animals and carbon gets bioaccumulated into their bodies.
Stop it here now. So what they are saying, the carbon which is in the atmosphere is first absorbed by the plants. How they are absorbing? You know about the role of green plants. They manufacture like they make a process of photosynthesis is done because they make their food in the presence of sunlight, carbon dioxide, water and minerals. So the next step is that then that these plants are then taken by the animals. And whatever carbon is needed, that is accumulated, means bioaccumulated, means that goes inside the body when they're eating that plants. And the remaining extra one can go into the atmosphere. Okay. Bhavika Dubey, unmute yourself. Bhavika Dubey. The students have to give me the answer. Why students are not attending the class today? Tomorrow I will not allow them to come inside the class. Very few have joined.
Yes,
I want
ma'am.
the reason from all the students. Yes, Bhavika, say the third point.
These animals and plants eventually die, and upon decomposing, carbon is released back into the atmosphere.
Yes, we have said about how coal is formed. Because when the bodies of the plants and animals get decomposed, when they are inside the earth, then only the coal is formed. As well as they are telling us, when the carbon dioxide is in the atmosphere, then that carbon dioxide is used by the organism living in the water also. Then the carbonates of water are, in the water are formed. And in that water, when the carbon is present, then the limestone is also formed. Bhavika, do you know what is limestone?
No, ma'am.
This question was asked in the Crorepati also. Do you know that? Limestone is chuna, bache. When we have marriages, parties, you see they put the white marks, that powdery thing to tell us the way on which way the particular house is or where they are living. You see on the road, na?
Yes,
Yes
ma'am.
or no?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
That white powder is known as limestone. In Hindi, we call
Yes.
it chuna. Okay. So that limestone is also made in the that because the carbon is present in the carbonates are present in water, and that carbonates are changed into limestone, chuna. Okay, fine. Um, Bhumika Manhas.
Yes, ma'am.
Bhumika Manhas.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, bache. 1 minute. Are you able to see the screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, say the fourth point.
Some of the carbon that is
Say
not
the fourth point.
some of the carbon that is not released
Yes, yes, yes.
into the atmosphere eventually become fossil fuels.
Okay, that's what they are saying. The sum of the carbon that is released back into the atmosphere, that becomes the fossil fuel because that is decomposed inside the earth, and the fossil is formed, and that fossil can be used for burning also. And when we burn that fuel, then the remaining extra goes back into the atmosphere in the form of
Yeah,
carbon
yes.
dioxide. Good. Read the last point, bache. Read the last point.
These fossil fuels are then used for man-made activities which pumps more carbon back into the atmosphere.
Yes, so they are telling us about the role of carbon dioxide. When you will see the diagram, just let me see in the next screen. Diagram is there of the carbon cycle. Just 1 minute. I have, yes. So in your book also on page number 240, the diagram of the carbon cycle is given, in which they are saying the main role of the carbon dioxide in atmosphere is first taken by the plants. And from the plants, it is taken by the animals. That arrows are put. And when the plants are using, when the plants bodies get decomposed, then the coal is formed because that plants that means what dried leaves and everything goes into the inside the earth. See here,
Yes,
I'll put
ma'am.
my cursor. Animal respiration. They are writing dead organisms and waste products. Fossils are formed. That means coal is formed. And inside the sea, petroleum is formed. And when they are burning that fuel, you see, they are burning it in the factories. And when the smoke comes out, it goes into the atmosphere.
Yes.
So same is given when it is
Yes,
used
ma'am.
like animals are using. So animal bodies get decomposed in the water. It cannot go decompose in the earth because when it is get decomposed in the earth, that time coal is formed. But when it is formed inside the water, then the petroleum is formed. As well as they are saying in the water, you have heard about the shells. Shells are also the covering of the carbonates. They're also formed with the help of carbon. So that shells are also formed. And the extra carbon dioxide goes into the atmosphere.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine.
Thank you, ma'am.
Manreen, unmute yourself, बच्चे. Bhavika, thank you. Manreen, unmute yourself, beta.
Yes, ma'am.
Manreen, are you there? Did you understand, beta, what is carbon dioxide, carbon cycle?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, can you
First, you
explain
have to
one more?
write. First, you have to write. Yes, first is carbon dioxide is used by plants. Okay, you'll put the arrow and down you will write carbon dioxide in atmosphere. Then you will write plants. Okay, it is used by plants. Okay, then down towards the plants you will write it forms coal. Mandeep, you are listening to me?
Yes, ma'am.
First, you have to write carbon dioxide in atmosphere. Then you will put the arrow down, writing simple way you will write. You will write plants. That means carbon dioxide is used by plants. Then that, see the
Yes.
book also, very easy way in the book the diagram is given. Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
240 page. Then that plants are forming coal. Na? When we are talking about the plants on the land, then we have to talk about the organisms living in the water. Then you can see one more arrow is there, carbon dioxide in water. Sorry, carbon dioxide in atmosphere. One arrow is coming down, carbonates in water. That means the carbon dioxide is used by the organisms living in the water. Okay.
Yes,
And when
ma'am.
their carbon dioxide is there in the water, then they are able to make limestone. उससे तभी चूना बनता है. आपको पहले याद रखना है plants are making coal, then carbonates in water are making limestone. ठीक है बेटा, till here it is understood, Manpreet?
Yes, ma'am.
Any problem till here?
No, ma'am.
Okay, then you will again go back to plants. Diagram में जाओगे plants में. Then you will say plants are able to make petroleum. First you will write it is used by animals. ठीक है,
Yes, ma'am.
plants और animals दोनों petroleum बनाते हैं. So we'll write plants ने use किया, then it is used by animals. Then animals and plants together are helping to make petroleum. ठीक है?
Okay,
And then
ma'am.
animals are making shells. Extra carbon dioxide that goes into the atmosphere.
Okay, ma'am.
Understood, बच्चे? You have to write
Yes,
in a
ma'am.
systematic way. You are able to play the diagram. Not of learning such big long answers. You can write in your own language also points. The carbon
Okay,
dioxide is
ma'am.
used by plants. Then plants are helping in making coal. Then the carbonates of water are also found in the water. Carbon is found in the water, and that helps in making limestone. And that carbon dioxide of the plants is used by animals. Then animals and plants together make petroleum, and animals are helping in making the shells. Okay?
Okay,
And the
ma'am.
extra carbon dioxide goes into the atmosphere.
Okay, ma'am.
Understood, bache? Manri?
Yes, ma'am.
Fine, beta. Okay, it has become easy for you or little difficult? What it is? Okay, Harshin. Harshin name is there. Now Harshin has left the meeting. I don't know what people are doing here. Okay, Devjeet, unmute yourself, beta.
Yes, ma'am.
Devjeet. Because the people are not becoming punctual every day. The response of 9 standard is becoming low. Okay, Devjeet. You're able to see the next topic, nitrogen cycle.
Yes,
Oxygen, you
ma'am.
understood, Devjeet?
Yes, ma'am.
It was easy, I think, so in easier way. I have tried my best to make you understand. Na?
Yes, ma'am. It
Simple way
was
you write
easy.
it. If it is difficult in the book, no doubt writing the difficult points. Easy way only you will learn. Role of plants, animals, simple way you can write. Diagram you have to practice first. When you will understand the diagram, then the explanation you can write in your own language. Okay, Devji. I have
Yes,
shared my next screen with you now, the nitrogen cycle. Okay, bache, read that.
ma'am. For now, I have I have that carbon cycle on my screen.
Just wait for a second. It will come because I have shared now only, na? And then the screen you are
Yes,
able to
ma'am.
see.
Ma'am, got it.
Okay, bache, read now.
The air we breathe contains 78% nitrogen, 21% oxygen, and the remaining are other trace gases. the nitrogen compound of air, is inert. So this means plants and animals cannot use it directly. To be
Component,
able to
okay,
use nitrogen,
component.
plants convert
Nitrogen
atmospheric
component.
nitrogen to nitrates, and ammonia compounds by a process called the nitrogen cycle. Animals
Right,
derive
right.
their nitrogen requirements from plants.
Nitrogen is not used directly as we are having 78% nitrogen. The air we breathe in that 78, most of the uh, in the air, the gas is nitrogen. Oxygen is 21% only, but we are using for our survival the 21% oxygen only. And the remaining are the other traces of the gases, which does not play very important, means it's playing very important role, but not too much for us. So little bit traces are there. But nitrogen is so much in amount, but we are not able to use it. We cannot use, whereas plants, animals cannot use it directly. So for that reason, plant convert this nitrogen from the atmosphere into nitrates, nitrites, and ammonia compound. Kavita, unmute yourself, beta. Kavita Chaudhary.
Yes, ma'am.
Bache, what we have said about nitrogen here, we cannot use nitrogen directly. Then what will happen? How we will get the nitrogen? See the screen?
Ma'am, by a nitrogen cycle.
Yes. See here, beta. In which form? See my fourth line. Na? What is given?
Ma'am, nitrates, nitrites, and ammonia compounds.
Yes. Yes. When it will change into nitrates, nitrites, and ammonia compounds, then with the help of nitrogen cycle, it will happen. Because you have heard about the word nitrogen fixation. So when you will see the diagram on 239 page of the book, it is written nitrogen in atmosphere. Then nitrogen fixation takes place. When nitrogen is fixing, that means that is the role of the leguminous plants, peas, pulses. That green plants are used by the animals also, as well as they will change into nitrates, nitrites, and ammonia. And then the extra nitrogen will go back into the atmosphere. Whereas they have in the book, it is also written during lightning. Everybody knows when the lightning takes place, the temperature is very high and the pressure is also there. That time also it converts nitrogen into oxides of nitrogen, because in that nitrogen, oxygen is also mixed. And these oxides dissolve in water, because oxygen can be mixed in the water also. On the land also, organisms are using oxygen, as well as the organisms living in the water also. So these oxides dissolve in water to give nitric and nitrous acid, and then they fall on the land with the rain. Then that nitrogen is used by all the living organisms. Understood, Kavita?
Yes, ma'am.
Nitrate, nitrites, ammonia, है ना? This also, and during the lightning process also, when the lightning takes place, that time the temperature and pressure is very high, and that time the oxides of nitrogen are formed. In that nitrogen, oxygen is mixed, and when the rain comes down, in that the nitrogen also comes with the water, and that nitrogen is then used by all the living organisms.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Yes, bache. Manri,
Excuse me, ma'am. Ma'am, why
say beta.
plants and animals cannot use the nitrogen directly?
They are saying the nitrogen which is used is in inert form, means उसको हम directly नहीं ले सकते ना, maybe that will have a harmful effect on us. So for that reason, the leguminous plants, because when we were in smaller classes, you have heard about that how to get the nitrogen in the soil. Particularly the leguminous plants are there, peas, pulses, they have the ability to take the nitrogen from the soil. तो वो nitrogen लेती है soil से, and then that nitrogen is used by the plants. It cannot be used directly. समझ आए बच्चे?
Yes, ma'am.
है ना? Because all the other gases which are talking about water, oxygen, carbon, that is taken directly. But here the nitrogen is changed into nitrates, nitrites, ammonia. When it forms into ammonia, you see the formula here, NH4. दिख रहा है ना बच्चे यहाँ पे diagram में? And you are able to see this nitrogen fixation also. You are able to see on the roots the dots are there. These are the root nodules which have the ability to extract the nitrogen. Okay? It takes the nitrogen and that nitrogen is used by the plants and animals by taking in food. Okay. So, understood now? Any doubt there now about the nitrogen cycle and the carbon cycle? Any problem? Any problem, bachche? Say yes or no, na? Then only I can go further.
No,
No,
ma'am.
ma'am.
You have,
No, ma'am.
you have to practice the diagrams. Then only you will understand. Now, the next topic which I will share with you is now, I will stop sharing my screen. Now, the next topic which we have, I will share with you is the next chapter which we are doing. Next topic, animal husbandry. This word you have done in 8th standard. That is the scientific management of animal livestock. When we are scientifically managing the animals. And what is livestock? When we're talking about the cattle, sheep. Okay? Okay, Diksha Gupta, unmute yourself, beta. Diksha Gupta, unmute yourself. Faster, Gursimar. Why this class students are so lazy? Only few are active in the class. Nupur Verma, you people are not able to unmute or you are not unmuting, trying to unmute. If I will call the name of the Pearl, na, within a second you will see she will unmute
Yes,
herself.
ma'am.
Pearl, yes, see, because she is attentive in the class and she is listening to the teacher. You people are not listening. Okay, Pearl, I will say the definition of animal husbandry and you repeat after me, beta. Okay?
Okay, ma'am.
Animal husbandry is the scientific management
Animal husbandry is the scientific management
of animal livestock.
of animal livestock.
That means when we are scientifically talking about how to take care of the animals, that is known as animal husbandry. And in this, we will talk about the feeding, how the animals are being fed, breeding, at what time they are breeding and how they are breeding, and how the different diseases can be controlled. So, which three names I said? Feeding, breeding, and disease control. Yes, feeding, breeding,
breeding and disease control.
feeding, breeding. Breeding means giving birth to young ones. Okay, feeding, breeding, and disease control. So when we are talking about the animals, we will talk about different types of animals in this. Cattle, goat, sheep. Say the animal's name, beta. Pearl.
Cattle, goat, sheep.
Poultry. Do you know what is the meaning of poultry?
Ma'am, a farm for chickens.
Yes, when we're talking about hens, chicken, that is poultry farm where we are getting the eggs, where they are kept and the eggs are they are getting, taking care of that hens and the chicks. And fish farming. So cattle, goat, sheep, poultry, and fish. So when we are talking about these organisms, as the population is increasing, so there is a demand for the milk, egg, and meat. So what we have to do, we have to take care. This animal husbandry is taking care of the animals so that the proper treatment is given. If any problem is arising in their life, how they're able to control it. So it plays very important role in the life of these animals whose care has to be taken. So particular department is this that is known as animal husbandry. Yes, Shivangi, very good. You have unmuted yourself. Very good. Now the question given on your book is, one question is given, which method is commonly used for improving cattle breed? There is one method. Now they have, if the population is increasing, that means they need more cattle, more meat will be needed, more milk will be needed, more eggs will be needed. So for that, the production of the animals should be more. So they are saying which method is commonly used for improving cattle breed. So there is one method how they can improve the breed of these cattle. So that method is known as artificial insemination. Now what is artificial insemination? Artificial insemination is that in which they are they can, with the help of vaccination, they can give birth to about more than 3,000 cows can be fertilized. And when the population of that cows will increase by the artificial insemination, and that particular type of cows can be transported to other parts of the country. Okay, Shivangi, unmute yourself, beta. You are able to unmute, so please unmute faster. Fast. Today I want to answer from all these girls what is happening and why the students are not being serious in the class. Something is there. Tanisha Jambol, unmute yourself. Sugam Sharma. Okay, you people don't unmute. Next time I'll see what to do with these girls. Because my class I'm getting poor response when I'm teaching. Not able, doing anything, not giving response. Just they have entered the class and just enjoying and sitting. Yes, Tejasvi, are you able to speak?
Yes,
You have unmuted
yes,
yourself.
ma'am.
Okay, what is happening to 9th standard? Why they are not attentive in the class? In all the other classes, you people are doing like this only, not responding, not giving any answer to the teachers. What I'm asking, Tejasvi,
No, ma'am.
people are giving. Then what is happening in this class, beta? Very few students have joined and not attending the class, not listening also. So I have
Ma'am,
shared one
because
question. What happened? Say.
because this is the fifth class of the day, so students have not came.
So they have got tired. So what teachers will do, bache? We are also having so many classes, but still see our capacity and energy. I'm trying my best to make you understand each and every topic. Na, you have to understand, bache.
Yes,
You
ma'am.
have to attend the classes. Then only the you will be able to understand because bio is not an easy subject which you can learn and understand. First, you have to do the understanding part. Okay. Which method is commonly used for improving cattle breed? What method I said? By artificial
Ma'am,
insemination.
ma'am, yes, ma'am.
Okay, beta, repeat after me. By artificial
Ma'am,
insemination.
by artificial insemination, we can
Insemination.
improve the breeding.
Yes. Breeding of the different varieties of animals. And that varieties of animals can be transported from one place to another. Okay, fine. So I'll stop till here so that my students will become more energetic next time. And let me see will they whether they will give me the good response or not. Because today I was not happy with my students because 2 o'clock class is there. You people are becoming lazy. You have to become smart because teachers are helping